Boys and girls, so before you watch this video, make sure you have watched the YouTube link that I posted on simple and compound sentences. That is the information you're going to need for today's lesson. So yes, today's lesson will be focused on simple and compound sentences. So what does that look like when we're working? If we go ahead and go to section A, that's our first section. And we always want to read our instructions very, very carefully. So we need to read each sentence. We need to decide whether it's simple or it's compound. Okay? Now, thinking about simple sentence, we can call that two things. According to the video, it's an independent clause. Okay, what we also call it in class all the time is complete sentence. Both of those mean the exact same thing. So a simple sentence is basically one independent clause or one complete sentence. When we look at a compound sentence, that's when we're putting two of our sentences together, like you should have seen it in our YouTube video. So a compound sentence has two, not just one, but two independent clauses. Now, when someone's independent, they can take care of themselves. When a sentence is independent, it can stand alone. So if we have a sentence that can stand alone and it's only one, it's a simple sentence. If we have two independent clauses that we can take apart and they can stand alone, that's a compound sentence when we have combined it together. So let's look at number one and number two. Let's look at some differences here. So in number one, we have tadpoles are baby frogs or toads. Now I'm noticing a special word here, and these are special words we've been using this year called our fanboys. Remember those? Let's write them down. So we have F, that stands for for. We have A, that stands for and. We have N, that stands for nor. We have B, that stands for but. We have O, that stands for or. And we have Y, that stands for yet. Finally, we have S, that stands for so. Now, in our YouTube video, these are called coordinating conjunctions. That's our 4th grade word. Fanboys is a word that helps me and you remember them much easier. So let's go back to number one. Tadpoles are baby frogs or toads. I see an or here, but when I read the sentence and I really think about what or who is this sentence about, what's happening in the sentence, what are they doing, I can see that it's talking about tadpoles. And it's telling me they are baby frogs or toads. So this is only one independent clause. This is only one piece that can stand alone. This is a simple sentence. So I'll write an S on the line. Now let's look at number two, because there are some differences here and we need to notice these differences. Tadpoles hatch from eggs and they live in water. So I'm seeing one of my fanboys here again. And I'm noticing I see two kind of ideas happening here. Because first, it's telling me my subject, tadpoles. Well, what do? They hatch from eggs. And then it's also telling me that they live in water. So they, which is talking about the tadpoles. What do? Live in water. I have two independent clauses. I have two complete sentences that could stand alone if I take them apart, but I have decided to combine them together with our coordinating conjunction or fanboys. So this would be a compound sentence. Now, I want you to notice some things that I have done. Okay, some steps that I have taken to figure out these differences, to decide if it's simple or compound. So we're going to look at some key points that can help you through this. So number one, we're obviously reading, right? We always have to read the sentence. If we don't read the sentence, we're not sure what it's about, right? Two, we can make note of any fanboys that we see. So we could box those in, right? And we've done this in class many, many times. So we box in our fanboys. Then we need to label our sentence. So we need to find that subject or those subjects if it's more than one, and our predicates, so that we can label any complete sentences that we see. So I'll give you a few seconds if you want to make those notes. Remember, you can always pause the video as well. So let's sum it up. Okay, we're looking at two things here. We're looking at simple and we're looking at compound. We're looking at simple being only one independent clause, and we're looking at compound being two independent clauses or complete sentences. Remember, all independent clause means it can stand alone by itself in a complete sentence. So let's try 3 and 4 together. 3 says, the tadpole has no legs at first, but then back legs begin to form. So I read it. I see my fanboy. I want you to start thinking, what are the ideas in this sentence? What are they talking about? Who are these? Is there multiple subjects in this sentence? Is there multiple predicates? Is there only one? So you can reread always to kind of think through that. So it says the tadpole has no legs at first. Okay, so here I see it's talking about this tadpole, and it's telling me it has no legs at first. So I have my subject circled and my predicate underlined. So think about the next one. Is there something new we're talking about? Are we talking about the same thing? If you think back legs is a new subject, you're right. So I could circle that, and I could say, well, now it's telling me that the back legs are beginning to form. There's my predicate. So I'm seeing two complete sentences here. When I have two complete sentences and I combine them together, that makes a compound sentence, right? So let's look at number 4. Skin grows over the tadpole's gills. So I read it. I don't notice any fanboys, and that's okay. Not all sentences have fanboys, so I skip that key point and I check, do we have subjects? Do we have predicates? How many? What are they talking about? So when I look at it, I can see it's talking about skin. Okay, that's my subject. That's what this sentence is about. And then it's telling me what skin is doing. The skin is growing over the tadpole's gills. That's my predicate. I only have a subject and a predicate, so I have a, what is it? Yes, simple sentence. So as you're working today, boys and girls, I want you to make notice of some things that we're really paying attention to. We're really paying attention to any coordinating conjunctions. That's our big 4th grade word. Or what we call fanboys to help us remember. We're looking at subjects, we're looking at predicates, and we're looking at the ideas. Because if you can see two different ideas happening, you can find those two separate sentences. Now, I don't want to leave you just yet. I'm going to give you some more tips and tricks so you can be successful today. So I want you to notice on your independent practice, you have 3 specific fanboys. So let's quickly talk about what those mean. When we're using and, okay, that means we're combining ideas that are similar, okay? So we're going to combine similar ideas. if we're using the fanboy, but it means something different. So we can't use it in every type of sentence. It has to make sense with the ideas that we want to combine. So but shows contrast. Two ideas that kind of go against each other or contradict each other. And then we have or. Or shows I have this or I have that. You have a choice. You don't have both of those, so you're not combining like with and. You only have one or the other. So or is when you are making a choice, or you have a choice, or there's only one thing being chosen and not something else, or there's only one thing happening and not something else. So this can help you when you're working through your independent practice and using these very specific coordinating conjunctions or fanboys. A couple more tips before we go. So if you notice on your next page, page 5, you have 2 parts. This is your exit ticket. This is extra practice. This helps you keep your learning going for today on simple and compound sentences. And your exit ticket is what you will turn in. So for your assignment today, I am going to make sure that I am creating a place where you can just submit your responses. So this would be number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. So you do want to do all the other parts like independent practice, extra practice, but this is the only part I want you to worry about turning in, okay? As you're working through an exit ticket, what's really, really important is always reading the instructions. So it says complete or finish the story. How do I finish the story? Well, it says here to write and, or but. And on the previous page, we talked about what those conjunctions mean and when we should use them in types of sentences. So we have to really pay attention to what are the ideas they're talking about, what do these ideas mean, and how can I combine them so that they make sense in a sentence. Well, I hope that you feel a little bit more confident today. I know yesterday was a little bit, of us learning how to navigate through the program. And trust me, as the days go on, you're going to get better and better. You're going to feel more and more confident. Because remember, the more you practice something, the better you get, right? The more you practice shooting hoops, the better you get at shooting hoops. So, good luck today. If you need anything, please reach out on Class Dojo or on Teams. You guys have been getting really good at chatting on Teams. So go ahead and reach out. If you're confused about anything, go back to the YouTube video that I linked on simple and compound sentences. Or I also posted some files on our files link at the top of our page where you can see a compound sentence PowerPoint, or you can access your fanboys anchor chart. So again, good luck. I'm so proud of you already, and we'll be seeing each other soon. Bye guys.